Good evening, folks, and welcome to the 6 o'clock news on SBYnews.com. This is our special edition where we're interviewing candidates throughout the state and local municipalities. With me today is Mr. Carroll Overholt. How are you, sir?
Good, Joe. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. You're running for Worcester County Sheriff. Why are you running?
Joe, for me, it's all about protecting and enhancing our quality of life in Worcester County. That's most important to me. I'm concerned about crime, and I'm concerned about the economy. They're directly related. The tougher the economy gets, the more crime we can expect. My family, my friends, the people that I'm talking to, that is their main concern, is crime and the economy, and how we're going to approach it. I know what it's like to work hard, try to make an honest living, have someone steal from you, and steal from your livelihood. I've experienced that. I've had 3 separate thefts personally in the last 2 years, and it is very frustrating. I think our county needs a strong sheriff, one who understands the issues, a strong leader who's got an action plan. We need a sheriff who understands about the quality of investigations. We need a sheriff who understands about victims' rights. And if there's one thing that I think we need to do in all law enforcement, we need to get back in our communities. We need to become a part of the community policing philosophy.
Okay.
I am a firm believer in community policing. I think we need to get out of our police cars. We need to become proactive. We need to establish relationships with our citizens and our communities. We need to talk to them. We need to solve their problems together. I want our deputies to be caring. With care comes concern. With concern will come effort. And with effort will come result. I spent 25 years in the Maryland State Police.
Yeah.
I've worked in every position from road trooper to barrack commander. I've worked in 4 different barracks. I've got all the experience. I've got all the necessary leadership skills. These are some tough times we're in right now.
Oh, yeah.
I've worked closely with the last 5 sheriffs in this county and the last 4 state attorneys. And I'm ready to attack our problem.
Okay. What do you see as the greatest law enforcement problem facing Worcester County, and how do you propose to address those issues if elected?
Joe, the focus of my administration will be on drug-related crime, gang-related crime, and child sex crimes.
Okay.
Those will be my 3 main areas. Of course, if I have to choose one of those areas, which is the most serious, it's going to be drug-related crime. I understand if we're going to defeat criminals, it's going to be through teamwork.
Right.
We've got to work together like never before because of the dwindling resources and the lack of manpower and the funding cuts. We've got to work together. I plan to do 2 separate things. Approach it from 2 different angles. As sheriff, number 1 is going to be with our patrol and our uniform division. I'm going to place an immediate emphasis on drug-related crimes. There's going to be goals and objectives for our deputies. Those goals and objectives are going to be part of their evaluation system. They come out here and they support what the administrators want, the sheriff wants, and what the people want. They're going to have a better opportunity to be promoted. These are the kind of people that we want as supervisors, those who have supported and done the work to address our problems. The other area on drug-related crime is going to be with our covert and narcotics investigators. I want everyone working together. I'm a firm believer in a multi-agency crime-solving approach. Simply put, we work together. The Drug Task Force is the single most effective tool we've got to combat crime. It is. I'm a firm believer. Right now in Worcester County, we've got 2 separate drug investigation units. I'll be the first to say they both do good jobs. But I believe if we put them together, the strength in numbers and the safety in numbers, I believe we can accomplish even more. As sheriff, I'm going to put them together. I'm going to mandate cooperation.
Good. Why should the voters support you versus your opponents? And I heard you when you said 25 years with the state police, and I got to tell you, I just got to break in here real quick and kind of say, this is sounding an awful lot like Sheriff Lewis, and I'm liking this. This is good stuff for Worcester County. So why, why should the voters support you over your opponents?
Just for a little bit of history, Sheriff Lewis worked for me on 2 different occasions. I was his sergeant when he was a young
That's hard to believe you worked for anybody.
And we worked well together. And then later, when he was working drug interdiction in the South Worcester in the Pocomoke area, I was his supervisor when I was the 1st sergeant. And he's done Wacomico very well. And I encourage the voters to look at the background of each candidate, to look at their qualifications, to look at their leadership abilities, to look at what they say in all these interviews and what they say in the media, and then also look at the websites. look beyond the glitz and all the pictures, but
What is your website?
my website is www.carrolloverholt.com.
Okay, we'll put that up for you.
And look at the issues. That's the most important thing. Look at the issues. My issues, I've laid them out very clearly. They're crime, they're community policing, they're child advocacy, they're fiscal responsibility, information technology, voluntary police accreditation, and partnership and training. I believe we need to train together. 11 years ago, we had Columbine. We don't need a Columbine here in Worcester County. We need to be prepared, and we've got to prepare together. I encourage the people to look at the qualifications, look at the issues, and make a good, smart decision. Don't make a decision based on popularity.
Okay. This is an interesting one. Fiscal problems are a concern in every county. Do you expect the budget of the sheriff's office to be cut next year? If so, how do you plan to provide adequate law enforcement while having access to fewer dollars?
There's no doubt we're going to have more budget cuts. We've had them the last several years. I expect them. These are tough times. It's going to require some tough decisions. We're going to have to make some concessions. I talked with the deputies back in April or May, and I told them, I said, listen, I can't justify out-of-county commuting use of our police vehicles. I can't justify it to our taxpayers. We've got to look at everything we do. We've got to look at every program. We've got to look at every dollar. Annually in Worcester County, in our sheriff's office, we're spending around $200,000 a year in overtime. We've got to tighten that. It's going to be through supervision. It's going to be through leadership.
Okay. Now, my big curiosity, of course, and one of the main reasons why I wanted to have you in here, and I appreciate you coming in, was, of course, everybody needs to work together, as you mentioned, and one of the big things for me is you have that experience with Sheriff Lewis. There's all this talk about Ernie Leatherbury coming to the City of Salisbury Police Department. You've got Mike Phillips down in Fruitland. It seems like a whole bash of state police officers coming in, and it's fortunate in a sense. It's fortunate, unfortunate for some, but very fortunate for others. And I mean unfortunate because of, you know, Ivan Barkley's just done a wonderful job in the City of Salisbury. So it's kind of like that toss-up of who can provide better services for the community. But can you tell us more about your background and history? Do you share the beliefs that Sheriff Lewis does and the patterns of the way he's doing things?
I do. I had the opportunity to be a presenter at Mike's retirement party. And I said then, and I'll say again, God ever created a man to be a police officer was Mike Lewis.
Right.
I had the opportunity to be at his swearing in at Y High. And I told him, I said, I'm proud of you, Mike. I'm proud of someone that I've worked with and that I helped supervise and I helped train him. There is a state police way of doing things. Mike Lewis told me a couple of years ago, he said, Carroll, he said, the state police prepared me well for my job as sheriff in your county. And the state police does prepare you well. We are the finest police department in the state of Maryland. Not to demean anyone else, we have the most outstanding training, and we come from a set way of doing things. And we want things done right. It's about doing things professionally.
Well, that's excellent. I mean, we need this. I mean, we need it in a big way. So I wish you the best of luck. I mean, it's going to be a heck of a race. You've got a lot of candidates running for this position.
There are.
You know, and again, folks, we strongly encourage everybody to go to their websites and check them out. Carroll, thank you so much for coming in here today. And again, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Joe.
We'll see you after the primary, right?
Okay.
Okay. Take care, folks. Have a good night, and thanks for being here.